This video was inspired by a post I saw on a wire wrapping Facebook group. The author was asking how to wire wrap an attractive bead, and they wanted the bead to be the full focus rather than the wire wrapping. With this comment in mind, I dug out a few beads from my collection. Some have large holes and some have small holes, so I thought I would use a varied selection to turn into focal bead pendants. This first bead is a glass lampwork rose bead with a large hole. I have an 8-inch length of 0.8mm soft copper wire. Bring the ends together and cross them over. Pull the ends apart until a small loop forms at the centre of the wire. Where the wires cross, bend them upwards and parallel. Thread both ends of the wire through the hole in the bead. I am weaving the bail with 0.4mm copper wire. Anchor the wire by starting the wrap with the 0.4mm wire between the two 0.8mm wires. Wrap the 0.4mm wire around both wires. Wrap the wires together for 2 centimeters. Finish by once again anchoring the 0.4mm wire by wrapping it once around each wire individually, finishing with the 0.4mm wire between the two 0.8mm wires. Remove the excess 0.4mm wire. I am using this small screwdriver to help me shape the bail. Anything round with a diameter of approximately 5mm will be fine. Wrap the wires around the screwdriver, bringing the unwrapped ends to the front of the pendant. Cross the wires over at the base of the bail. I decided to echo the rose on the bead by creating a wire rose at the base of the bail. The rose is created by spiralling the wires around each other. At regular intervals, lift the leading wire and allow the trailing wire to pass underneath and become the leading wire. When you run out of wire, tuck the ends underneath the rose. I am using pliers with a flat nose to very gently squeeze the edges to make the rose nice and round. I am finishing the pendant by adding a glass dagger bead to the loop at the base of the bead. The dagger bead is simply hung from a jump ring, and a smaller jump ring is used to attach to the pendant. This heart-shaped lampwork bead has been wrapped the same way as the previous bead, and I am just shaping the bail. Cross the wires over at the base of the bail. Bend one of the wires around to the back. I trim the front wire to approximately 1.5 inches in length. With the tip of round nose pliers, start making a loop at the end of the wire. Trim off a small amount from the end of the loop. Continue forming the loop and start coiling the wire. Switch to pliers with a flat nose to continue rolling the wires into a flat coil. Position the coil at the base of the bail. Repeat the process with the back wire. Once again, I've finished the pendant with a dagger bead. This printed butterfly bead has a smaller hole. This is a 10-inch length of 0.8mm soft copper wire. Once again, bring the ends together to create a loop in the middle of the wire. This time bend just one of the wires upwards. Thread the bead onto the upwards facing wire. Take the other wire to the back of the bead. I want to bend the wire up to meet the other wire, but I do not want to bend the wire straight up the centre of the bead. If I did this, the pendant would not sit properly and would want to lean slightly to the side. To make sure that the pendant sits well, I am zigzagging the wire up the bead to meet the other wire. Wrap the wires together with 0.4mm wire, the same as the other beads. I have formed my bail. Once again, cross the wires over at the base of the bail. Trim both wires to a length of 1.5 to 2 inches. Coil both wires and position both at the front of the bail. To finish this pendant, I add a glass butterfly bead. I think I will turn this bead upside down. This pendant starts the same way as the previous. This time I am coiling the lower wire around the bead to meet the top wire. Make the bail the same way as the other pendants. I am bending the shorter of the wires to the back of the pendant. Trim the wires short and tuck the cut end around the back of the bail. I trim the front wire to approximately 1.5 inches and make a coil. I finish this pendant with a glass drop bead. Thank you for watching. Please join me for my next video.